Morning YouTube, friends and family. Oh, another beautiful day in Maine. Crisp morning. I love fall. I love those mornings where it's dry, it's still, it's clear, and it's starting to get cold. We are on our way to the bus stop. Thanks for coming with me on my day, and I'll see you in the car.
School dances are alright, I like them well enough. They've got beautiful girls there, and snacks and drinks and stuff. But there was this one school dance, made me sure she'd hate 'em.
I'm very excited to have over 200 new subscribers, but the number of views of my vlog has remained fairly constant, so I'm not even sure exactly how to define. My feeling is that it's mainly views, you know? The number of views you get is sort of a measure of success. I think another measure is how engaged are those who are viewing. So how many comments do I get? To be honest with you, that's what makes it most fun for me, is getting comments from you all. And that tells me, you know what? I've really connected with you because you're taking not only the time to watch, which is quite a commitment in some cases when it's a 15-minute vlog, but you're taking the time to respond, to think about if I were monetized, I think success could also be measured in dollars. Once you monetize and ads go on your video, every 1,000 views you get will earn $1. You know, my typical vlog gets somewhere around 100 views. So that means that each vlog I make, upload, and people watch would earn me 10 cents. Which means at the end of the year, right now I'm measuring 65 days in how engaging I am with you. So please continue to comment because it really makes a big difference to me. I really enjoy hearing what people think.
All right, it's gear review time. I'm very excited. We are reviewing the sleeping quilt today. Are you ever curious about alternatives to sleeping bags? I'm going to present one to you. Stay tuned.
I thought he had all the girls and wouldn't let me date 'em. My friends and I arrived at school, immediately checked out.
All right. A sleeping quilt is... This is how I describe a sleeping quilt. It's like taking a perfectly good sleeping bag, cutting a foot out of the back of the sleeping bag right down to about, I don't know, shin height, and then, draping it over yourself. I have a very cynical view of the sleeping bag, and that will be revealed in this vlog.
Excuse me. A sleeping quilt.
Oh.
It's like taking a sleeping bag and eliminating all the unnecessary parts.
Okay.
For instance, if you're sleeping in a sleeping bag, you're lying on top of half of the insulation. And I think there's an insulation expert here. Does insulation work when it's completely compressed, or does it need the airspace between it?
Okay.
Are you going to answer that? The other benefit of the sleeping quilt is it allows for ventilation. Now, when you insulate a house, you ventilate it, right? So it doesn't build up too much moisture and grow mold. Probably a camper wouldn't grow mold, but you will sweat. And then when you sweat, you'll get chilled because of the evaporative cooling effect of moisture. So a sleeping quilt eliminates the weight of the zipper, the unnecessary insulation under the body, and allows for ventilation, and it's so cozy.
And that kind of holds the whole
this
sleeping quilt
foot pocket.
on your body.
Foot pocket
essentially.
here.
So that, you know, is about 1.5 feet long.
Just over 2 pounds,
One
or
of the
just
great
over
benefits of
900 grams.
is it's super lightweight. When the temperature dropped
So you're hiking,
below
and
about
you're going to be in a cold place, so
40,
you're gonna pack
45
long
degrees,
underwear and socks and a fleece or a puffy coat. So you're carrying all that stuff anyway. Why not wear them to bed and add to the layering effect of your sleeping quilt?
part of the philosophy of the sleeping quilt as well. Is
Everything
why,
when you go backpacking should serve more than one purpose.
and it did. And you will see if you go back to some of my Colorado Trail vlogs that in order for me to stay warm, I had to wear all 3 pairs of my socks that I was carrying, so why not put them on? My long underwear, my long, you know, thermal top, my rain pants, my raincoat, and my hat in order to just stay warm. Andre made these.
I'm just a
sleeping
skinny
quilts,
little
so I have to
guy.
be
That's
very
my issue,
careful is that I've got,
about,
you know, how critical I am.
So when you're cold, this is how you do it when you're cold. You put your feet in the pocket, and you tuck your draft stopper underneath of you all the way around, and then you pull it up over your head, and you just leave yourself a little breathing hole so you don't build up moisture on the inside. And then you can curl up in a little ball, but you make sure to bring the foot pocket with you, otherwise it will get cold down there when you stretch out again. And you sleep all cozy.
From my perspective, it's inadequate for very cold temperatures for somebody that doesn't have, like I said, a lot of insulation or poor circulation, and maybe I've got both of those issues. For the other 4 members of my family, they were very happy with the sleeping quilt. So I think overall, as a family, we probably give the sleeping quilt a thumbs up.
You can buy all kinds of kits
Now,
and
you
patterns
bought
and
a
books
pattern.
for the Rayway.
The Rayway.
And
And this is called the Alpine.
This has 2
right?
layers of alpine insulation, what he calls alpine insulation. But I decided we would be spending so much time together that a little bit of a single person
That's
to make
probably a
double
good
whammy.
idea.
But
I agree.
Ray Jardine uses this exact model, but the double, with his wife. And they used it on a skiing trip across Antarctica. And you gotta know that guy has less fat on his body than you, because he does nothing but like hike and kayak and trek.
He must have had like 10 other layers to put on in order to make this particular bag work in Antarctica. How much did the kits cost? Don't take this if you do, you're crazy.
Maybe about $120.
$120.
So a lightweight down sleeping bag is going to cost you upwards of $300. So
And how long?
times 5.
How long did it take you to make, say, one bag? Or would you plan if somebody had skills with, you know, a sewing machine?
about Yeah, 20 it's not hours. difficult. It's just
And
fussy.
to be clear, there are
And you need a pretty heavy-duty sewing machine. Well, the other advantage, this is synthetic fill, and if down gets wet, it doesn't have any insulated
Yeah,
valve.
remember Dr. X?
Plus all those poor geese.
All those poor geese. They don't kill them for the goose down, do they?
What do you think they do? Pluck them
Oh, I
alive?
suppose they would. Well, they don't kill them for the goose down. They probably kill them for meat, and then you get the goose down, right?
I doubt it.
Oh, all right. Well, how can vegans like use down bags
They
now?
don't.
They don't? Wow, that's just crazy. I guess the other part of the system is a good sleeping mat. You know, you need a sleeping mat that's going to provide some thermal
Andrea
resistance
had an
against the
air-filled
ground.
mattress that was a little bit more
these
cushiony and
thermal-
probably had a little bit more insulation as well. So I think that that's part of this whole system is, you know, make sure you have a good sleeping mat when you're using a sleeping quilt.
check it out. You know, if you are handy and have a sewing machine, make one. You know, try it out. It's a very low cost investment. I'll put all of Ray Jardine's information in the comments below, or in the description of this movie.
Under there.
Oh, now it's hot.
The girls that we had chances with and some we knew nothing about. I was careful to avoid the pack of hungry nerds, all dancing like imbeciles and stumbling over words.
I hope you had as much fun with that gear review as Andrea and I did. In the final analysis, Andrea was 2 thumbs up and I was 1 thumb up, you know. I was glad to not have all the extra weight of the full sleeping bag, but there's nothing worse than being cold at night when you're sleeping. So certainly if you're summer camping and you're not going to be above tree line and it's warm out, then it's a no-brainer. Go for it.
This one girl caught my eye, she must have been 13. Standing there all by herself and looking kinda green. I strolled right up to her, trying not to trip and fall.
Okay, today's Friday, end of the work week. I'm just cranking out some computer work here. Remember that energy audit I did a couple days ago? Well, I have some sophisticated software called REM Rate that allows me to do heat load calculations on a building to figure out what the potential energy savings are from my recommended improvements which result from the energy audit. It's just sort of like brain numbing though, because I have to take all of this, you know, I've got about
Building
another
map that I
maybe
made
an hour to work on this, and then I'm calling it quits. Model. My day is done. My work day is
about a
done.
5-mile ride.
I'm going to take it to the streets on my
around
bike
a very
and
large
go for a ride.
circuit of all right turns.
And from what I can tell, I didn't look dumb at all. Man, this girl was fucking hot. I know it's not wrong. Her whole appearance was straight out of a Beatles song. She had tears in her eyes, spark like little stars. She was just what I needed, as seen by the cars.
That was the same ride I did the other day, and I did it in the same 30 minutes. But today, half of it, there was a serious headwind, so I feel like I made a little bit better time in theory. Time to make some dinner.
She looked glad to see me too. She told me right away that her boyfriend had left her a minute ago today. I tried not to stare and drool when we walked to the floor, 'cause I never wanted to leave that place out the door. Well, we had an awesome time and it was getting late. She leaned in towards me and my heart increased in rate. Our faces were an inch apart when her ex burst in. He pushed me away from her into the trash bin.
You know the drill. Your city, your country, and a pin goes on the map where you live. Today I have two additions. The Isle of Wight in England, which is just off the south coast, and Lisbon, Portugal. Thanks for coming with me on my day, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Much ended there. I didn't hang around. I just legged it out of there in one log homeward bound. The girl and I saw each other but didn't hit it off.